Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Please, if you've not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. I took a long break, to write my Ontario bar exams. So here we are. We are back to give you good content that will help your journey. Okay, so I did a session with Yeti Splash on Instagram the other day, and I had a lot of comments and questions regarding that. So I'm doing like a follow-up content regarding that immigration process. So we spoke about the express entry. And I talked about processes, the steps. I used myself as an example. But a lot of people right now are in the pool, or they've done the CRS calculator and they are seeing that the cutoff is so high, it's very high, that they may not be able to get it the way their profile is. So I feel like I need to share with people certain ways they can actually get it, because Canadian permanent residency is really what the effort is, what putting in the effort to get it. Because if you're able to get it without having to go through school or paying an agent, you're able to just get it through the express entry system, where you just do the right thing and get a permanent residency and just travel. It's amazing how I was able to get it with a cutoff of my cutoff then was 478. So when I look into the cutoff now, the kind of high scores I see, for instance, the lowest this year was 481. That was in the month of March 2023. Sorry, last year 2023, it was 481. So and that's really high. So how do people get it now? So the information I'm here to share with you is that there is a shift in the express entry program. There is a shift in how it works now. In my time, I even saw just people before us, 451, all program draw, they're able to get it. So how can you get it now? I'm here to release certain information that, if you're watching this video, you find what I'm saying very useful to somebody, is like a jackpot. Please share this content with them, or this content may actually be very useful to you. So Canada, federal government, the Immigration and Refugee Canada and Citizenship Canada, IRCC, Immigration, Refugee and Citizenship Canada, they came up with new system. It started in June. It's called the category-based draws. So you have the French language skills there. So that's the first. Sometimes I'll refer to my computer and then give you the full list. So they are shifted to certain skills and occupations. So if, as I read it out, as I share some of them with you, you can check where you belong. Can I actually get my permanent residency this 2024? So with this shift, we can predict some things that are happening now and where Canada is headed. So Canada is headed to get more people to become permanent residents. They meet their economic goals. So this immigration program, it was actually for their economic goals. So where are they shifting to? So to be eligible for invitation, you need to watch my other videos, because I'll just be talking as though you've watched my other videos, where I shared the process, of the express entry. So to be eligible for the category-based rounds, you need to meet the minimum criteria for express entry. You need to be eligible for one of the three immigration programs. So there are three main immigration programs under the express entry. You have the Federal Skilled Worker Program, you have the Federal Skilled Trade Program, and then you have the Canadian Experience Class. So I came in through the Federal Skilled Worker Program. Under the Federal Skilled Worker Program, you just need to have at least 1 year of continuous work experience to be eligible, and then you need to take an English test. You need to also assess your degree. So watch my previous videos for that. So The other one is the Canadian experience class. This one involves that you have 1 year skilled work experience in Canada. So that's called Canadian experience class. So if you have 1 year skilled work experience, you can be eligible for that. That's why you can see someone being eligible for both federal skilled worker and also eligible for Canadian experience class. So you can be eligible for both. I've seen people that are eligible for both. Maybe you came to study in Canada, you already had an express entry profile, that you're eligible for federal skilled worker, and then you got 1 year work experience and you have not yet gotten permanent residency, you can become eligible for Canadian experience class. And then we have the federal skilled trade program. So this one is certain occupations, that Canada considers trades. Education is not really the main focus here. There are certain NOCs for this one, certain national occupation classification for the federal skilled trade program. We have things like Major Group 72 is technical trades and transportation officers. We have general trades. We have supervisors in natural resources, agriculture and related production. We have occupations in natural resources. We have processing, manufacturing, utility supervisors, and utilities operators and controllers, central control and process operators, aircraft assemblers, inspectors. We have cooks, butchers, bakers, chefs. So this one is not focused really on education. It's focused on having at least 2 years work experience in the last 5 years. And then this is a major thing that is different from the other program in federal skilled worker. In federal skilled trades, you need a valid job offer of full-time employment, or you're able to get a certificate of qualification in that skilled trade issued by the Canadian province or territory or the federal government. So you need to have a certificate of qualification that you are good with that. So if you go to the website of each province, you find what it requires to get a certificate of qualification. This will really usually implies that you've passed an exam. So if you're able to get this, you can qualify for the federal skilled trade. So either a job offer in any of these NOC. So you may need to I'm going to drop some links on these videos for you to see some of the things I'm mentioning so you can read up more on it. And also the federal skilled worker, they don't expect, federal skilled trade program, they don't expect too much high score in English or French. CLB 5 for speaking and listening is good enough for you. CLB 4 for reading and writing is good. So if you have these things, you can be eligible for federal skilled trades program. So I'm going to drop a link for you to read up more on the federal skilled trade program. Okay, so for the federal skilled worker program, you need at least CLB 7 in your English or French skill. A Canadian experience class, same thing. You need CLB 7. So the work experience is also similar between in federal skilled worker. I've already said this, just 1 year in the last 10 years. It can be anywhere within Canada, outside Canada. But for Canadian experience class, you need at least 1 year in the last 3 years to qualify for Canadian experience class. So back to the point, you need to be eligible for one of these programs. There are links for you to check your eligibility. I'm going to drop that in the description box. So when you are eligible for any of these and you are in the express entry pool, Canada does certain category-based draws, category-based rounds. So in last year, 2023, there were 19 express entry draws. There were 19 of them. 19 express entry draws were all program. 5 were provincial nomination. 1 was for only federal skilled worker program. There was none for federal skilled trade program. There was none for CEC, that's Canadian experience class. I mean, there was none particularly for them. It doesn't mean they fall under the all program draw. So that was 19 were all program draw. 5 were provincial nomination. 1 was federal skilled worker program only. 17 were category based programs. So that's total of 42 draws in 2023. So if you are able to meet one of this category, you're already in the pool and you meet one of this category, you can actually get your express entry, invitation this year and be invited, you'll be invited to apply for permanent residency and you can apply and get it. So we have first the French language proficiency. So if you're able to go and get CLB's minimum score of 7 minimum score of 7 in all 4 language abilities. If you take a French language test and you're able to meet that, you can become eligible for this category. So when they do a draw and there is a cutoff, you can just get it, and that will just be it for you, that you're able to speak French. So Canada wants bilingual people. So there are a lot of people that are coming are more of English speaking people. So if you're able to get French, you are already an English speaker and you're able to go for the certification and qualify in French, and you're able to sit for this exam and you pass, you become a hot cake in the express entry pool. So you can actually get it in the next draw. So just, if you're able to do that, you're able to go for the learning, study French. You are taught, there are programs that you can actually do, there are training centers that can teach you French. You're able to sit for that exam, you're good to go. Then we have the second one, is the healthcare occupations. I know people who have gotten under this category. To be eligible for this healthcare occupation category, you have accumulated in the past 3 years at least 6 months of full-time work experience. So obviously, for you to be even in the express entry pool, remember, you need at least 1 year, right? So somehow, if you've met that, you've already met this as well, right? So you need to know the professions that are there. I've spoken with a pharmacist that asked me, I say, you are on the list. Nurses, they're on the list. Physicians, they're on the list. Dentists, they're on the list. Family doctors, they're on the list. But I'm going to read out some more that may not be so common. We have physiotherapists, they're on the list. Pharmacy technical assistants, they're on the list. Paramedical occupations, they're on the list. I'll put a link that shows you the full list, so I don't have to read out everything here. But we also have education counselors here on the list. General practitioners and family physicians, already said that. Massage therapists, they're on the list, right? Medical laboratory technologists, you are there. Nurse aides, on the list. Occupational therapists, optometrists. So a lot of them here who meet this healthcare occupation category, because healthcare is in demand to cater for the medical needs of Canada. We have the aging population. We also have, Canada wants to have very good healthcare, so there is demand in that area. If you're able to, you're able to enter the express entry profile and you meet this occupation, I tell you, in 2024, I still know that there is demand in that area. And this is not legal advice, I'm just sharing information, it's not immigration advice. Healthcare occupations are in demand in Canada. So please, this can be good for you. Every year they set targets. In 2023, there was 82,000 candidates was the target, to get 82,000 migrants from the express entry program. Canada surpassed it. They ended up having 110,266. So you see, Canada is interested in that. The next category is what we call science, technology, engineering, and math occupations. This is known as the STEM, STEM. So there are occupations under this. Also, what you just need is 6 months of full-time experience in that occupation, whether in Canada or abroad. So under this category is where you have engineers, you have tech people. So I'm going to list some things, some careers, some occupations in this. If you're an architect, this is good news for you. Civil engineers, computer and information system managers, business system specialists. So as I said, I'm going to leave the link again so I don't have to read through everything. Computer system developers, cyber security specialists, data scientists, database analysts, electrical and electronic engineers, engineering managers, they're all on the list. Land surveyors on the list. Metallurgical and materials engineers, they're on the list. Natural and applied science policy researchers, consultants and program officers are on the list. Software developers and programmers are on this list. So web developer, web designers, urban and land use planners, software engineers, we are all on this list. So tech people that work in tech, people that are engineers, architects, surveyors, urban and regional planners, you are in this category. So if you can enter the express entry profile, you can see that you are in demand and you have a high chance. So please, if you hear what I'm sharing and you know someone that meets that, please let them know about this. So we leave this and then we enter the trade occupations. Under the trade occupations, I already told you some things about trade. We have certain occupations in the trades that they are giving this stuff. They are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 occupations were listed under these trades: residential and commercial installers and servicers, elevator constructors and mechanics, machine fitters, heating, refrigeration and air conditioning mechanics, construction millwrights and industrial mechanics, carpenters, plumbers, welders, electricians, contractors and supervisors, and other construction trades, installers, repairers and services. So you see, Canada is a very developed country. A lot of construction is going on, a lot of building is going on, a lot of maintenance is going on for those huge buildings and all that. So this is needed. They are in demand occupations that if you are in the express entry profile and maybe you met one of the needs and you have this special category of occupations, you can be invited. So 2024 can be your year. We also have transport occupations. This is a special category as well. This they also listed some, aircraft assemblers, transport truck drivers, deck officers, air pilots, aircraft mechanics, railway carmen, managers in transportation. So you see, if you have a career in the transport industry, go ahead and look and see whether you meet any of this, you meet any of the NOC. Just search your field and see what pops up, right? The truth is that your career may be called a different name in the NOC. It may be called a different name. So just check if the job description fits and that job title is listed, because there's a main job title and then there are subtitles. For instance, a lawyer can answer a counsel, you can answer legal officer, you can answer associate. You can have different descriptions for your field. So if you meet any of this, there was demand for you last year. 17 category based draw were done in 2023, and this started in the month of June. So immediately after that, after it started, we started having more of it. They ended up having 17 in 2023 alone. So watch out for more of this. Okay, then we also have agriculture and agri-food occupation. So there is need for people in that area. You're a contractor and supervisor in landscaping, ground maintenance and horticulture services, agriculture service contractors and farm supervisors, butchers, that's retail and wholesale. So you see these occupations, they are in demand, and I would advise you to please keep watching out for content that we're going to be sharing here, the updates we're going to be sharing, and do well, give it a shot this year. If you meet any of this, just give it a shot. Also be looking out for provincial nomination programs. I may also have to do another video on provincial nomination. Each province, they're always looking for something. There are certain things that are priority for them. International students always have a special stream for them. Healthcare, they always have something for provincial nomination. For instance, I knew somebody that is in healthcare. I got a notification of interest. He's a family doctor, a physician. He got a notification of interest from Ontario. So the person immediately gathered documents and put in, for the provincial nomination. While the person has put in that, next thing, she also got this special category from IRCC direct. So she doesn't need to go through provincial nomination anymore. So she had to withdraw the other one and submitted the new application. So in 1 year, somebody was called by a province and also called by Canada directly. So there is no more need to go through provincial nomination. So that's for the person, a family physician. So I noticed there is competition going on now with UK, Australia, Canada is trying to get as much, healthcare occupations coming into their country, getting tech engineers and certain categories of occupation, as well as, if you speak French, if you can communicate in French. So this year, as you tailor your application, keep looking out for updates that will be coming out. Look out for provincial nomination you can get, because the regular person, you just studied, the normal way we got it before. I just assessed my degree and I just wrote my English test and my cutoff was enough and I just got it. But now there is a shift. So you check and see which of the new updates you can get into. There is the Atlantic program for people in the north part of Canada, very cold areas. So just keep your ear on ground, subscribe to this channel, share it, Why? Keep on with your research. If it is permanent residency you want, if you stay very well informed, you can actually get this express entry. So look out and see what works for you. Okay, thank you. Please like. You can ask questions on the comment section so that if answers are given, someone else can benefit from it. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. See you next time for more updates.